8 minutes after 8 o'clock on Y100 and B104.1 FM. It's time for our insurance tip of the week with Sonia Edwards from Bryan Insurance. I have to ask you something. There's a new campaign that has showed up on television, and it's this emu. And I'm wondering if y'all have made any observations at Bryan Insurance about the emu, and is that reaching a little bit too far to?
I don't think I've seen the commercial. What does
I
it
haven't.
say?
It's dumb.
What do they say?
Okay,
It
and
may
they've
be
got this.
ring a bell.
They've got this emu that walks in, and it's the Liberty Mutual. Weren't they the ones doing the Brad
Yeah,
commercials?
they have
in
all
front?
kinds of commercials.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess they're trying to take after Geico just to mix it up and do all kinds of stuff. So they got Lee New, the emu, and Doug. And Doug's kind of a dork, and the emu is running around with him as his sidekick.
It's kind of like a police thing where you've got the insurance police guy and his partner,
Oh.
and it's
And the-
really stupid.
I'll
I don't
have
know.
to-
I
I'll
don't get
have
it.
to
I
look
mean,
it
I
up.
know that a lot of times in advertising meetings, everybody has these great ideas, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment, but I'll look it up.
Yeah, take a look
Yeah,
at that.
well,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Lee Mu or
Lee Mu.
Liberty Mutual.
Yeah.
The email, we have a thumbs down from Larry
Yeah.
Hamilton this morning. On
I mean,
that.
I think some of those commercials just are insane. We could go on and on, but I think the whole key obvious is for you to remember. But I don't know if most of the country even knows what an emu is.
No.
So that would be the
They're like
first-
short ostriches.
Yeah, I mean, I know what, but you know.
I know there's a lot of people that lost money on
I do
them.
too, I do too, but you know, it just makes
And
you
there's a lot of
wonder.
running wild out there too.
It just makes you wonder if that's a smart, but anyway.
Oh, who knows?
Who knows? I
Who
guess time will
Hey,
tell.
What
I
do we know?
I thought those Flow commercials were dumb too, and those have stuck around. so.
I'm sorry, but Hump Day from Geico was my
Oh.
all-time favorite.
I liked, oddly enough, I shouldn't say their name, Jake from an insurance company, you know.
Oh,
yeah, I don't want to
yeah.
give any free advertising,
Yeah,
but I
no,
love
yeah.
those commercials.
Because he's a guy.
Yeah, well, you know, he's
Yeah.
like, what do you wear? Those, I thought they were hilarious. I
Oh.
just thought they were great, so.
All right, well, what do you have for us this week?
Well, actually, I read yesterday that April begins the boating season, but it didn't around here because of the crazy storm. So we're gonna say that May begins boating season.
Okay.
I guess in Texas, any day, typically depending on the time of day, it could be boating season in the morning and cold in the afternoon or whatever. But regardless, talk about boats. Since we are in the lake country, obviously boats are prevalent. And, you know, I remember a time where probably 15, 20 years ago, Friday afternoons, we would just get ready for it because people would be buying Sea-Doos, you know, it was a thing. And we don't have that as much anymore, but we still have a lot of people that are using boats out on the lake. So I thought we'd just talk just a little bit about boat insurance. As far as the state requires, now I'm not talking about, we'll get into more details, but did you know, I'll do one of y'all's trivia things. Do you know what 3 states require boat owners to carry boat insurance? Do you have any idea?
Ooh.
Texas?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
California?
No. So.
Okay,
I'm out.
boat insurance?
Florida?
Two don't make sense and one does to me.
Florida?
No,
Arizona?
no.
Do I need to be?
I'll just tell you,
Okay.
yeah, because it doesn't make sense. Hawaii makes sense.
You've only got 47.
I've
Yeah.
only got 47 more to go.
Well, I mean, I didn't know this till yesterday either. So, Hawaii makes sense to me. The other 2 are Arkansas and Utah. Who knew?
I can
Oh,
see
there's a
Arkansas.
joke in here somewhere.
I
I'm
know.
telling you what, I could definitely see Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just because the state doesn't require you to do that doesn't mean that, first of all, if you're using a watercraft, you have a liability exposure, you need insurance. Also, most of the lakes are gonna require, if they pull you over, you better be insured. So, you know, in boat insurance, typically liability is not expensive. You're, in my opinion, just would be insane to not have liability at least on your boat.
Right.
And even sometimes, depending on what type of homeowner's policy you have and what type of boat, including the length, the horsepower, all that, sometimes you'll have a little bit of liability on your homeowner's policy. So if you have a boat that you don't even care about covering damage to the boat, physical damage to the boat, call your agent and find out what coverage you have now for liability, and if you don't have what you need, how much it would cost, because you'd be surprised it's not very much. Some things to look out for on the liability side: make sure there's not an exclusion for water skiing. Don't see that as much as we used to. whenever those jet skis, whatever, all those different kind of little, whatever they call those, personal watercraft were popular. There were a lot of policies out there, and some of them excluded if you pulled somebody to, for skiing or inner tubing, so you have to watch out for that. And also make sure that there's not a limitation on where you can use it. Some of the policies, the limitation will be inland water, which is fine unless you go to the Gulf. And Rick would say, haven't you people seen Jaws? Why would you take your boat out into the Gulf? But, just make sure there's not a limitation on your policy for that. Then, of course, boats can be very expensive. Some people buy really nice ones. They may have a loan on them, or it's just an investment and they want to cover damage to the boat. That's also very easily obtained. You're not probably going to have that on a current policy. You're going to have to buy boat insurance for that. And on those policies, you can get all kinds of coverage. You can get coverage for fishing equipment, for your skis, there's just all kinds of stuff available. So, because there isn't a standard boat policy where there is a standard auto, a standard home, there's not a standard boat policy, so there's all kinds of stuff. And then also, you can get medical payments insurance for if you or someone in your boat is injured in a boat accident, you can get medical payments coverage. So there's just lots of stuff out there, and it's like I said, it's not super expensive unless you're talking about, a yacht or a really fast boat. And then the price does go up a little bit. One thing you can do to reduce the premium is most of the time if you take a safety course, then you can get a reduction. I'm pretty sure, and I should have checked this out before, pretty sure Possum Kingdom, the Brazos River Authority, under a certain age, a person has to take a safety course, I think.
I think it's 16.
Yeah, before they can be legal to drive a boat, on one of the Brazos River Authority. So anyway, that's just in a nutshell. It's just something people don't think about. Oh, another thing I was going to talk about, you go on vacation, you can rent a boat or rent a Sea-Doo. Find out, before you do that, maybe think before you go on vacation, if it's something you might do, find out what coverage do I have currently. Do I need to buy something? Do I need to buy something from the people I rent it from? Are they going to hold me responsible if I damage the boat? There's all kinds of things, and these kind of things, boats are mostly, I know you can use them for fishing and commercial use, but most of the time it's for fun. It's to go out and have a good time with your family, enjoy the sun and the water. Don't let something fun turn into something bad, because something that you unforeseen happens, and then you have a financial loss. So like we always say, don't wait until after an accident's happened to find out if you're covered. So just give us a call. We could go over it with you. We'd love to, and happy boating.
Something I would like to add to this.
Yep.
This come from Highsmith Automotive, William Highsmith. Be careful and make sure you have the right kind of insurance on your vehicle too, because I can't tell you how many vehicles he has pulled out of PK Lake because they went to back a boat in and back their vehicle into the water.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, I have a story about that, but.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so everybody, I can talk about Denny Bryan. He would have given me permission even if he were still here.
Well, he's not gonna sue you, so it's
No,
okay.
he's not, but I definitely, he was a hero of mine and a personal close friend, and I wouldn't, but see, he would have told you this. One reason he was such a good insurance agent, because if it's happened to him, and I could go on and on and on. He had a guy working for him out at his lake house. Had the same name as you. It was, you remember that guy? Okay. And he accidentally, he wasn't, I don't even know how it happened. He wasn't pulling a boat out, but he backed an old car of Denny's into the lake, and it sunk, yeah. And we somehow got that covered under that man's liability insurance. It was quite an interesting claim, but it was just, it's like I said, it happens. If it happens, it happened to Denny. Yeah, he was out there, and I don't know exactly how it happened, but the boat went to the bottom of the lake, and
yeah, so you got to be careful.
And so it's just like I said, just anything you just don't
Both
know.
the car and the boat.
Well, the boat, he wasn't even attached to a boat. He was just his car. Denny's lake house didn't have like a beach. It was like drop off to the water. It had a big dock with boats and stuff. This guy was out there working and had his car just backed up. Denny's car backed up because he had unloaded something, and I guess the brake failed or something.
And it went into the lake.
And it went into the lake.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and sunk to the bottom. So.
Now, I got a picture a couple of years ago from the Highsmith Automotive of a truck submerged at PK Lake over by, I guess it was Fox Hollow, where a guy backed the boat in and went underwater with it. So,
Yeah, it
you know,
happens so
just,
fast.
just,
Yeah.
just make sure that if you're a novice, you know, you have the right coverage.
Yeah, whenever, back in, I guess it was 2014, maybe, when it was such a bad drought, and his boat dock wasn't on, it was on
It was
land.
on the ground, yeah.
And there was so much stuff,
Yeah.
glasses, I mean, it's stuff that had been lost over the years, you know, cause it's just, but anyway, yeah, that stuff, you're just minding your own business, next thing you know, your boat's in the bottom of the PK Lake, so. You
All
mean
right, Sonia.
your car, I meant to say, so.
How do we get a hold of you?
You call us at 940-549-2525. Come see us, second floor Sierra Bank Building, or online at www.bryanins.com.
Hey, by the way, will you tell Lynette a great big thank you? You know, she handles my home insurance, and I saw the escrow was very close to last year.
I will tell her.
And it was great because she really did. She worked hard shopping it around for me.
I'll tell her.
And yeah, those townhouses with the multiple roof insurance things, they're kind of a headache, aren't
Well, right now, property in North Texas is a headache. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. So yeah, she works hard, and I will tell her.
they? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Sonia. Sonia Edwards from Bryan Insurance.
The common problem